Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. I can see nobody because the lights are so bright. I can see you guys, and then it's like nothing.
There's a lot of people. So, obviously, you performed that monologue many times. What was it like when you saw it on a big screen for the first time? Did it come through as you imagined it would when you performed it?
It was terrible to watch. You know, has anyone here ever had to listen to their voice on a voicemail? It's like that. Like, you know, yeah, it took me, I don't know, like 3 times of just like watching the movie to get my own like critic voice in my head who was like, why'd you do that thing with your face? I'm like, why do you keep doing that? You know, the first time that I could really hear the words was at the LA premiere. I took my children with me. I have a 5-year-old son and a 3-year-old daughter. And my 3-year-old daughter sat on my lap the whole time. And it just like, it really kept me like in my body, and it kept me like in the room. And it was a premiere, so there was like a couple thousand people who were all really psyched to watch the movie, so it was like a very friendly audience. And it was something about having my daughter, who's only 3, watch this. I kept trying to like imagine, what does she see? What is she hearing, right? And it was like, I finally got to like hear the words for the first time, it felt like, and like really feel them. And so that was moving, and you know, it was so deep for me. And at the end of the day, my daughter turns to me and says, why were you driving that car? And I'm like, awesome, I'm so glad that's what you took from that. Which is slightly better than what my son said 2 weeks later, which he had said nothing about the movie, and then 2 weeks later he goes, Mom, did the construction workers ever finish building that wall? And I'm like, your mother was in a movie, and nobody cares. Anyway, kids will humble you. It's wonderful.
It's like when you spend all the money to give a kid a Christmas gift, and all they care about is the box.
The box, right? Of course,
so
always.
There's that.
Yeah.
So, assuming, I hope I'm not wrong here, assuming you were sent this script for Barbie with an offer, like the role was yours, what was it then like knowing you were probably gonna play it, to read through the script and see that monologue?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like the thing that you never imagine is gonna happen, that some fabulous visionary auteur director is gonna come texting saying, hey, I wrote a movie and we wrote this part with your voice in our heads. It's Barbie, hear me out. And I was like, okay. And she said from the beginning, she's like, it's weird and it's bonkers, but read it. And we wrote Gloria with your voice in our head. And so, I mean, from page 1, it was like the most incredible delight. It was, you know, I mean, it was like watching it. It was so unexpected. And you know, Greta and Noah's vision were just so singular, and it was I mean, it's the Barbie movie that no one asked for, right? No one asked for this movie. No one knew we needed this movie, but clearly we needed this movie, right? And it was just an incredible delight. And I remember the very moment in the script where Gloria realizes that Barbie came for her, and I remember having that almost like in this meta way feeling of reading the script and being like, oh, this movie's about us. Like, this movie's for me. Like I just felt like as an adult grown woman, what an incredible Christmas gift to unwrap, that like a fun, fantastic, adventurous movie that centers joy is like about an adult grown human woman's perspective on the world. And that, you know, it was such a surprise, and we don't get that often. So I think even aside from having been asked to be in it, I was just so kind of thrilled that this was the version of the Barbie movie that we were going to get as a culture, you know?
Yes. What has it then been like for you to see this monologue expand beyond the film? Jane Fonda quoting it, Kevin Costner doing a fun bit at the Golden Globes where he's reciting it. It's taken on a life even bigger than the movie. What's that been like?
I mean, you know, I'm so glad I didn't F it up, you know? Like, I read the monologue and was like, and also Greta did something really mean, which was when she told me about the script, she said, there's a monologue. I call it Gloria's aria. And Meryl Streep said she would like to do a monologue like this. And I was like, that is the meanest thing you could have said to me. I was like, then give it to Meryl Streep. Why are you even putting me in this position? And so there was a little bit of pressure around it. I was a little nervous. And I really did just feel like the words hit me as truth. And I just really felt like I don't want to stand in the way of this beautiful writing, achieving, you know, the articulation of something that feels so true for so many people, you know, and I you know, I feel so so lucky that I got to be the actor to bring it through, and I feel truly happy that I didn't get in the way of it, and that, you know, possibly I was a part of why it works, but what I feel more than anything when I hear from men and women and people of all genders and ages and sizes and backgrounds and who resonate with it, even if it's not for them, but they hear those words and then it makes them think of their mothers, their sisters, their daughters, people that they love in a different way. Like, what I feel is that it needed to be brought into the culture. And I feel so grateful that I got to be a part of doing that.
So 17 years ago, you won a Primetime Emmy for Best Actress for Ugly Betty.
That's right.
In the 17 years since, was Oscar nomination on the list of dreams?
I mean, Oscar nomination has been on the list of dreams since I was like 5. So yes, let's not pretend like I haven't practiced that speech a couple times. You know, let's just be honest. It's so surreal. I mean, yeah, I've wanted to be an actress since I was 5 years old, and I watched my sister begrudgingly be flying monkey #2 in her 5th grade play. And I sat there and I just kind of burned with rage that nobody had asked me to be a flying monkey. And you know, and the memories of like watching Halle Berry win her Academy Award, like they're just like seared in you as a kid growing up with an insane dream that nobody sees as possible, much less likely for you. You know, to have a feeling that one day you might get to be a part of something like that or be in that room. I mean, it's been an incredibly surreal couple weeks to try to reconcile what I'm living right now with that kid, you know, and that girl, and it's a beautiful moment, and it almost feels like time traveling. Like sometimes I'm her and sometimes I'm me, and you know, it's hard to really wrap my mind around. It is a dream come true, and yeah, that's all there is to say about that.
Well, it's very well deserved. So happy to have you here, America Ferrera, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You can stay. All right, we're going to inch our way through the alphabet. Coming up next, Andrew Scott. Before he comes out, let's look at a clip from All of Us Strangers.